Good afternoon. I'm talking about my build. I know I did this before, sort of. I don't think I did it as well as I want to now. Uh, I went for core damage, and fortify and reducing damage as I go along. Um, Everything from my gear pieces and uh, stats are towards my core and uh, defense. Uh, I got this unique piece here. Armor is pretty good. It's a 97 requirement level for this piece, so it's not a 100 piece, but that's the piece I've been using. Uh, Damage while shape shifting, I get 15 out of 21%. I get overpowered damage, I got 42.8% out of 63%. 969 maximum life out of 1,000, 259%. Uh, Lightning resistance got 52.9 out of 59.8%. Your earth skills are now also wearable skills and fortify you for 18. I got that out of 19. And then I put in damage reduction while fortified. Um, I got this another unique piece. Um, 19 physical damage out of 21% is a requirement level of 98. I got 38.3 overpowered damage out of 63%, 10%, 10.3% damage reduction uh, out of 20.2. So I got the low end of that. 12.8% total armor while in werebear form. I got that's out of 21%. And werebear form is now your true form, and you gain 2 ranks to all werebear skills. And I got uh, two uh, sapphires in there for damage reduction while fortified. Uh, this is a requirement level 100. I got 48% damage to injured enemies out of 52.5. I got 15 percent attack speed, which is the high end of this piece, and it's a requirement level of 100. I got critical strike damage is 6% out of 12%. 4 ranks of Pulverize, that's a plus out of 4. Uh, and then I put this Pulverize is also an earth skill. After Pulverize, tan- Tantonic spikes continue to deal 2,024 damage. I got that out of 2,422 damage over 2 seconds. I put it on the gloves or the arms or whatever, the gloves, instead of the weapon or the jewelry because I'm not necessarily focused on or wanting uh, the spikes to continue to be the damage dealer or anything. It's just about pulverize itself and boosting up its damage, and plus making it an earth skill is a plus. It's a level requirement of 100. While injured, your potion also restores 30% resources, which is great. Because this is really me tanking. Because when I play things, I might not do fast damage, but I do a lot of damage by and then surviving. And then if I need to use potions, it gives me a hell of a lot instead of going through my potions a lot. Healing received is 18.8% out of 21%. Uh, Damage reduction for close enemy is 20.9% out of 23.7%. All my stats are pretty much almost to the max of what you can get per piece. Damage reduction from distance enemy is 23% out of 28.4%. I imprinted, you gain 0.45% increased armor for 4 seconds when you deal any form of damage stacked up to 45%. I got that out of 50%, which is damn near close to the max roll of that. And then I got 2 damage reductions while fortified in there. So it was a really good piece. I almost got every stat almost to the max. These are my legs, my boots. Attack evading cooldown by 1.2 seconds. That's a bonus because me attacking reduces the cooldown and me getting out the way if I need to. And basically, that's my damage dealer and my healer. Me attacking heals me and then applies armor as well. So that's a plus. Movement speed is 17.3 out of 26.2%. Dodge changes 8% out of 8.6, which is pretty good. I'm only missing 6. 35.7% damage reduction while injured. I got that out of 43.3%. 47 intelligence out of 63. Uh, when you have fortified, your earth skill gain 2 ranks. There's one out there for I think 3 or 4 that I had previously that I had on my arm. So I need to get that one back, and then I'll be pushing out more power and getting more uh, ranks to my earth skills. This is my weapon, 2,614 damage per second. Uh, I got 94.5% over damage. Uh, then I got another 76.5 over damage with werebear skills. That's out of 126%. 55.5 core damage. That's out of 58.5%. Willpower, which is a change from another skill. I don't know what it was before this one, but I got 171 out of 189. It's pretty good. Lucky hit up to 26.4% percent chance to execute injured non-elite, and that's out of 30%, which is pretty good being off 4. And then for the weapon, I put on attacking enemies with a basic skill increases the damage of your core skill cast by 16%, and that's out of 20, which is pretty good. And then I put 2 overpowers in there to boost up the overpower. Uh, as far as the necklace, I got resistance. That's 26.5% total armor, while in wearable form is 21%, which is max, which is really good. 34.5% damage for 4 seconds after killing an elite. That's pretty good. It's off by probably about 8, something like that. Um, 1 rank of the Wild Impulse pass. I got 1 of those out of 3. 9.4% cooldown reduction. I got that out of 14.6. Imprinted. I imprinted deal 15%, which is max increased damage for each second you stand still up to 30%. Which is it is a good stat to have. And this will getting that extra power, that extra attack power like I do have. By standing still, because most attacks require you to stand still for at least some seconds. The only downside with having this is to get to up to 30%. When it gets up to 30%, it's 6 seconds. That means you have to stand still for 6 seconds to get the max power that you would get. This is not a issue as long as you could still withstand the damage and have the right thing to take on standing still for that many seconds and to survive the mobs to wipe them out. 25% on the cold resistance, 25 on the lightning resistance, 28 percent over damage, overpowered damage. That's out of 28%, which is max. Really good. 125 life regeneration while not damaged recently, and that's out of 143, which is pretty good. I'm only off by 20 something or a little bit less. 5.5 resources generation. I got basically the low end, just +5 in that. 9.5% damage over time, out of 14%. And then imprinting your core skill deals up to 38%. That's out of the 40%, which is pretty good. Increased damage based on your amount of fortified. Uh, Shadow resistance 35%, poison resistance 35%. Critical strike chances is 5.1 out of 7.5%. Critical strike damage with Earth skill is 29.2% out of 31.5%. Physical damage is 19.5% out of 21%, which is pretty good. 31.5 damage to injured enemies out of 52.5%. I got the max roll on Pulverize, creating a shockwave that travels forward, dealing 100%. I got that out of 100% of his damage to target in the path. With all that being said, I have all this to do a lot of core damage. So my core damage altogether, it's not just these my armor equipment that's bringing up to the core damage. It's also my Paragon as well to bring up my core damage. And I focus on all damage, where it brings up, which basically puts all this stuff together, comes out of here. Anything that you do that's damage wise got to come out of here. If this is low, you're not gonna do a lot of damage. I had my Paragon board set as Earth and so on, and trying to do a lot of damage in that way. Granted, it was good, but the thing is, this was always like at 89 or something like that, or 85. I wasn't pushing out a lot of damage like I needed to, even though everything looked great and power was pushing out. My core skills, everything was looking powerful, but it wasn't pushing out all that damage because I only could do 89% of the damage. With all that stuff, and I'm only in my human form because my true form is where all my power comes from. And you can see here I'm at my pulverizer, which is the main damage dealer, is at 39,000 and between 47,000. So, and that's just my human form. This is not actually what I'm doing when I'm attacking, because I'm not in human form. But this is just to see where the numbers are at in my human form. 5,600. All my stats where I got here, because I got the Pulverize, I got it coming down here to Overpowered after 12 seconds while you remain healthy. And then I got the damage reduction for 4 seconds. Came up here for the spirit, and then the spirit regeneration. I get this from my item piece. So, and then I got the critical strike chance, only one of that while close, because I'm not necessarily doing critical striking damage, or in a sense, or focus on critical striking as a power dealer. Got the damage reduction here. Instead of maul, because this is, I don't like to be up close at all times trying to get attacked. Understanding that, yeah, this deals more damage in a sense, but this hits from a distance. I don't have to have enemies hitting me close up and to build up my resources. And plus, this is, to me, it acts a lot faster than it does maul, and I have to be too close and maul and take a damage to actually build up some resources. Not that it takes that long when I go this route. Earth Spike has a 10% chance for stun. I didn't go to any of these because it's not required. It just is only to build up resources. Came down here for the increased non-physical resistance by 5%. Came over here to the damage reduction when I use my delivery roar. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that right. Uh, and then from here, I did have them slowing down in my previous uh, build or whatever. It's the same build, just different. I changed the stats of what it was. I changed it from slowing enemies down to healing because taking a lot of damage and standing still to get that 30%. While standing still, uh, I need the heals and stand there and keep healthy. So that's why that is there. I did have this because this is great for distance and me using my shockwave from my Pulverize, hitting enemies that's far away and increasing the damage to distant enemy. And then it's doubled if they slow, stun, immobilize, or knock back. I had to do a lot of power and Pulverize to knock them out, or so on, because they can still get knocked out regardless if I don't have this stun. But the thing is, it takes too much, so I didn't continue with that because I'm not gonna get that extra damage if I'm stunning them. I don't have really much of anything that's gonna knock them out or stun them or anything. I do have trample, but it's not an earth skill to knock them out or anything, and I'm not willing to sacrifice turning this into an earth skill or where I'm not going to be using this as much. In a sense, this is to get out the way, move things, or knock things out, or to interrupt. This is basically our interrupter and the move fast and so on. I put this to cast it. When I cast it, it gives me 20 spirit, so I keep up my spirit, so I could just pulverize right afterwards, you know. And then 5% on the healing, and then I got this for the 20-second for the provocation, so the overpower happened. And I went here for the increased damage to it. If they get stunned, will mobilize by 5 seconds, or by 5%, I mean, and then increase the damage over 45 by 50% of your max life to skill damage, earth skill damage. I was using purify, or whatever you want to call it. But then I realized that I'm not using critical strike damage for damage to output my damage. So it is a good skill. I think it's just as good as this, as the raging Grizzly rage, because it controls a lot of the enemies, especially when you're in groups with people and maybe they can't handle the damage as much as you can, and you can stop them all and allow them to apply their damage and their AoE damage and so on. I feel like this is more of a team uh, type of build. As far as critical, I got an idea for a build for that, and using Earth Might with that as well. Um, as you notice here, I didn't go to Earth Might. I'm not using Earth board on my Paragon board, so I use this because the simple fact is it's always up at all times. After being in werebear form for 2.5 seconds, deal 30% increased damage for 15 seconds. Now I got all those on my gear that's 30% damage for fortify, for standing still, and whatever else I have it for. So that increases the damage of my main attack and my weapon attack power. I went here because my skills are natural uh, nature magic. So I got the increased damage to the elites. I got the healing when I consume that spirit to keep my life up. And then I got the your earth skill deals 12% increased damage to vulnerable enemies. I already get 20 of that as it is. So now you get the increased 12% damage to vulnerable enemies. I'm going to show where my attack power is in my bear form. See, if you see there, my attack power is at about 35,000. while attacking. This because of all the boosters that I'm getting from like stuff like Fortified, Standing Still. There's a 30% up there while standing still. 38% increased damage while fortified. So these things are what's making my attack power go up, and so on. Uh, as you can see, my attack power is at 27,578. My armor is at 9,086. Life 11,215. Now let's go to my skills and abilities so you can see how the difference where it was at 45 and stuff like that is at 50,000 and then up to 62,000 in attack power. And this is not including the fortified and uh, uh, it's not including the fortified as well. And then there's something else. And then the Grizzly Rage, that will even go up higher, double, and that's another 20% on top of that. And then you can see from our Earth spike went up from like 6,000 to 11,000 at its max. Granted, Maul is still higher, but then again, like I said, you have to be too close for Maul to do damage. There's no need to take unnecessary damage. As you see in my Paragon board, damage while healthy is 106.9%. I had Overpower over here, and it would be 320.9%. But the problem is when I put Overpower over here, Overpower doesn't happen as often. Like it does happen, but it's not the damage dealer. This is going to do damage consistently as long as I stay healthy. And no matter what health I have, I'm still doing more damage than I would if I didn't have damage while healthy. Uh, this is my damage while in werebear form. My damage while in werebear form. You gain 10% damage reduction while in werebear form. This is because I stay in werebear form, so I get that damage reduction. And down here, I changed this glyph off from another one that I had to this one. And give me that damage, 22.5 damage. And then the dexterity, the intelligence, and then the resistance to all elements. But all in all, it's all for while in werebear form, closing enemy takes increased damage from you. Everybody complain about that. Some people complain about that, not having close damage, where here it is for me. And then my other glyph here is my overpowered damage. And when you overpower enemy, all damage they take from you is increased by 12% for 5 seconds. So that's a bonus to me. And then it increases. And one thing I know about these glyphs, since it's not powering, I don't have glyphs that's messing with the rare nodes necessarily. So like empowering, like you think it would be the great thing, because I did have that originally. But when you put these type of glyphs in here, you get a bonus for each intelligence that's in there by 5. So I have 5, more than 5 intelligence over here. And each intelligence gain gives you, uh, uh, or let's say for instance, whatever that glyph that doesn't give you rare node bonus or magic node bonus gives you a different bonus on different um, nodes. Like these nodes, these regular nodes, normal nodes wouldn't get no bonus or have anything. But if you can see, you got that 5 intelligence, and then under it says that 29.7% overpower damage. And this is not the only glyph, only one it does it with. It does it with the other ones as well. So here, 6.6 damage while in werebear form, and that's for every willpower that I have in this area. Let's see, all those creates that willpower that I get, increases that damage there. Because this by itself wouldn't be as powerful if I didn't have these all selected. I didn't put a lot of stuff going elsewhere, like coming here. Like I would like that, but the thing is, I will only be doing 50 of that. To be honest with you, I think it was like 50 or 70 or something like that. These things are great as well, but the problem is when I notice when I get too much spirit or have too much spirit, it takes a lot. You got to build up all that spirit up again. So with this build, it's better having a low amount of spirit in the sense of like not a lot of capacity. It sounds like if you had a lot, you could do a lot more, do more pulverizing. True, but the problem with that is you got to build up all that spirit. I done had it up to 158 spirit, and it took too long to build up spirit to do damage. So what I did was took that out and applied that to stuff like armor and stuff like that, survivability and so on. And then I come here for my rare, my magic, rare nodes. I got uh, 5 attack speed here, 10% damage. Anything that had damage on it, I selected it because the damage is going towards your attack power, your abilities, and your weapon damage and so on. So anything that says physical damage, I got all the damages. Damage, anything that says damage on here, as far as uh, like just raw damage. Nothing that's just hiding under some other type of uh, terms in a sense. Say, like for instance, damage to healthy enemies. So there's a damage to healthy enemies, and that means they have to be over 80% of their life, and that's how much they get. They get 50% more damage to them. That's great and all, but it's not great in the sense that it's not doing damage because once that they get below that 80%, you're not doing that 50 damage to them, and while they're healthy, because they're not healthy anymore because you're killing them. So I took that out of there. It wasn't needed. What is needed is these 2 armors, but I couldn't grab them for how I had it set up. For my legendary nodes, I got after spending 75 spirit, which is you want to do always is spend all your spirit, and you deal that 30% increased damage for 5 seconds. That's where I get that other extra damage is when I spend all my spirit, I get that other 30%. That's another 30% on top of the other 4. I think it's about 30% that I get. Let me see. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. So that's 3, 4. So altogether is 4. No, 5 because of this here. So it's 5. 30% damage increases. So that's where all my power is coming from in this build and how I built it. And then I gotta go here for the armor, for survivability, increasing that potion too. Having that potion healing because you will be using the potion. I built up this the healthy. This is a guzzler. It's called the guzzler, the glyph, and you gain 30% increased potion healing, which is a plus because I don't want to be going through all 12 of my potions. I get that from one of my armor pieces. And then I went here to increase my life while not damage recently, which is a plus. Say, for instance, I'm in battle and they're not really doing damage reductions are working really good. Fortifies up because there'll be times where I'm just not using any potions at all because of some fact I'm outputting damage because I get kills on heals. And then this will work because it's like, well, you're not necessarily getting damage because I'm doing an attacking and keeping my health up. So, and then my core, I went for the core skills, all here core skills. Basic skills get it, increase in damage. And then over here, core skill increasing damage plus a 10 willpower. The fortified, I got the generation. Damage, everything that's damage I got. If I could, I would have grabbed all the health as well. And those armors, those 2 armors. I only have 2 armors out. And also I would grab all these critical strike damage. I pay attention to the shrine. Like for instance, when those dungeons give you that automatic shrine and give you that critical strike damage. See, with me having that, say if I had those Paragon board on the Paragon board where it says critical strike, this will put this critical strike up to 130. Uh, when you use the shrine, it goes up from 130 to 150. So I wipe things out at 150. So that would be a good idea if I could get some more critical striking. But I'll show you where my all my damage is at 250.7%. I'll show you in my Grizzly Rage what my power, what my all damage goes towards. Let me push it. See, my attack power is at 33,000 and all damage 300, 369, 370, 381. That's when Grizzly Rage up. So you can imagine if I could have that up at all times, how much power I'd be doing. The whole idea is to go somewhere and sit, attack, sit, and keep attacking. So it seemed like they hit hard, but it wasn't too bad, especially if there's a lot of them. I would have healed myself just because I'm attacking. The attack on heal. And plus if I move out the way, but I don't really necessarily want to. See, I haven't even used Grizzly Rage and I was at 35,000 attack power. It's hard to jump in to see what my ability power is while I'm attacking, because that's a lot of moving buttons on the console to see what it is. Kind of like you just gotta bring a menu up and it'll show me what it is and so on. Yeah, see, it's up at 68,000 right now. And plus, I'm not all the way healthy as well, so let's get one of these. See what it do. It's probably not gonna show me what it was just. Yeah, it's still up there. But I think that's because Fortify is up as well, so it's showing you that extra boost that I'm getting. See, Maul was doing all that power before, but look at that. 12,000 over. Got 2,000 over that. Well, actually, nope, it's still over that. But still, granted, like I said, this is a lot faster and a lot easier than being so close and trying to maul people. Or in the enemy, I should say. I don't have to be close, and that's great. And that's the same thing with my Pulverize. I don't have to be close to do damage. Boom, 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 before I get to them. Before they get to me, actually. So it keeps me healthy the whole entire time. As far as my Spirit Boom, what I have on here, I have the 10% reduction from elite enemies. It's either the 10% reduction from elite enemies or a reduction from control and impaired effects by 15. They're both good for this type of build as well. Critical strike damage, obviously, I got that for the 30. to keep it above 100 or at 100. The lucky hit dealing up to 15% chance to restore team spirit is a good thing. Uh, either either of these are great for this build. Either or. Critical strike with shapeshifting skills heal you for 3% max life. That goes with my ability to circle of life while consuming heal spirit skills that natural magic skills that consume spirits heals you for 3% of your max life. So I got that to go with that in a sense. This is for the I have to have the critical strike to get healed, and then I got this for my earth skills to overpower. They're just giving my overpower chance and more time to actually happen. So I got the provocation, the stacks with I got the stacks up to 20. And the Odyssey Slam kills will lead to a guaranteed overpowers to overpower. So I got multiple things that make overpower. So overpowering with Pulverize is the main thing, and then build it up with my Earth Spike to build up the resources, which doesn't take long for me to build up the resources whatsoever. I'm just showing you to do this right here. True enough, it's not a nightmare dungeon or anything, but nonetheless, it still works. It operates the same. Again, like I said, when you have a lot of spirit with this, with the werebear, and then you got to build up that spirit by using your basic attack. It's not a good idea to have a lot of spirit over, like, because people, I know there's a complaint or saying that we don't have enough spirit regeneration or whatever, but as you can see here, now I'm building up my spirit by a few attacks because my spirit's not so high. I tested it out. When I had it so high, it took too long for me to generate the spirit. So having too much spirit can be a bad thing. Low spirit keeps me all the way up. Getting a little help from somebody else. I'm staying in a little bubble. See, but if you could see when I was attacking, my spirit came back a lot faster. When I had too much spirit, it wouldn't pop up like it's supposed to. Like I was sitting there consistently having to hit my basic attack to get the spirit I need. So I eliminated having too much spirit, because having too much spirit, it seemed like it would be a great idea the more you could use your Pulverize, but the problem with that is you got to build it up. I don't have to build it up. It doesn't take too long. It's not just because of the 15% lucky hit or anything, not just because of that, but I still have to build it up because it's not all the time that will work to happen when I need it. That's why it's called lucky hit. I don't have a lot of it, nor as I'm focusing on it either. But I don't change the stat if it's there. long as it doesn't interfere with anything else I got going on, I do not interfere with the stat. As you can see here, as I attack, my spirit generates a lot faster if I have a lot of spirit. I think a lot of spirit is for like storm druids. I'm gonna call them storm druids. I don't know what to call them, but I'm gonna call them storm druids. The ones who have the weather druids, who controls the wind and stuff and so on or whatever, and lightning and so on. I think that's a good idea for them in a sense. I think it'll work for them, but for me, no, not for being a bear. See, my attack is at 50 something thousand, 51,000. That's just my attack power. So imagine everything else if I was up there at my height. Understanding it works off 4 to 5 and works off 4 to 5 and you getting steel as well and staying healthy. And as you can see, he's not high level monsters. Even if I was fighting 102 monsters, which is the highest I've seen out in the world, it really wouldn't really matter during hell tide or not hell tide. I'll still lay their ass down just like I'm laying these down. No difference. Same thing when it comes to the nightmare dungeons with monsters. Granted, depending on the aspects of the dungeon, it could be a pain. Depending if it's taking my overpower out or taking some armor out or something like that. Well, I ain't gonna say armor necessarily because armor doesn't pertain to me in the sense of dealing damage. Like it doesn't give me no damage. What I have here is just basically more armor for taking hits once they do get hit. So, but besides that, I'm more fortified. All my things is required for fortified, standing still, being a tank, and taking on large mountains of mobs. So, and I think I achieved that with this. So, when season 1 comes, I'll at least have an idea of how to build when it comes to building what I'm wanting towards, want to do, what I want my character to be. Because I'm still play the druid regardless. And I would like to continue to be a bear druid. I might make a alternate druid to Yobo, because so I could try out. Cause like I said, I want to try out. Cause I've seen some builds from uh, before preseason, which is now, that I was interested in as far as using totems. Even with this build, I'm looking for a totem now, and I want a handed weapon to rival this weapon and be better in stats. Because when I originally started, I like to start like how the character started, and when originally starting this character and anybody starting a druid, you had a totem in your hand. So I wanted to see what I could do with the totem and a one-handed weapon if I could pull out more power than I am now than just with the one-handed weapon. Will it be better? And so on. I thought at first totem I needed. I thought it was just for storm druids because it wasn't allowing me to attack directly. And storm druids don't necessarily need to use. I'm not sure if they need to use a weapon in a sense. I didn't talk about. I do have my fortified here, increasing fortified you gain from all sources, and then I do get knocked down, so that's a great 9% base, 9% base of your life. That's great. 9% of that, 19%. Uh, and then reduce the duration of control and parry effects by 9%. That's triple while you have fortified over 50% of your max life, which is a great thing because I hate being tied down. So yeah, but all in all, I think this is a great build for myself. I can't say is the best out there or anything like that. I don't think anyone could say that's the best out there because everything has its weaknesses and everything has its strength. So, uh, but this is the best build that I have came up with for myself. And if you like to use it, here it is.